The book no one ever read. Every book longs to tell its story. So every book wants to tell its story. From the moment they are bound, so from the moment they are made, they wait for fingers to open them up. So they want people to read them. Do all the books want people to read them? Well, books are as different as people, so there are many different kinds of books. Okay, so what kinds? Some are adventurous and want many readers. So some are really adventurous, they want people to read them. While others have forgotten they once longed to tell their stories. Well, some of them, they don't want people to read them. Okay, different kinds of books. The library Maury lived in was full of such books. So this is Maury, the little book, and he lived in a library full of books that doesn't want people to read them. Maury was only 5 years old. That is very young for a book. But he thought that 5 years are an awfully long time to just sit on a shelf. So he doesn't like to just sit on the shelf. So one day, he pushed himself forward just a few inches. So he came forward. And where do you think you're going? Asked Victor. This is Victor. He was very proud of the gold on his spine. Yes, what are you doing? Asked Jane. But I'm bored, Maury exclaimed. No one ever reads us. Well, lucky us, exclaimed Nitzoot from a shelf above. No fingerprints on our pages, no cracks, no bent corners. So all of these books doesn't want people to read them. Yes, whispered Beatrix. One hears terrible things. Books are left open for days and days, weeks even. She went on and on, pages smeared with coffee and chocolate. So they talk about how people would spill coffee and chocolate on their books. The others moaned after each sentence. So everybody's like, ooh, yeah, ew. Okay, that's terrible, said Maury. But not as terrible as nothing happens. So it's terrible that people spill coffee on the books, but it's even worse if nothing happens to them. No one picks them up. Ever. I want fingerprints on my pages. I want to be read until I come apart. Oh, the mowing and rustling that filled the library. So Maury really wants to be read. He's too bored. He don't want to just sit on a shelf alone. Quiet, all of you, shouted Dumas, who claimed you could learn fencing just by reading him. The young one is right, so Maury is right. I would love to leave, but I am too old. I guess my spine would come off. Leave? Asked Maury. How? So Maury's asking, how can we leave this library? Well, why don't you jump? Victor said. And before Maury could say wait, Victor pushed him off the shelf with a little help from Jane. Oh dear, so the other book just pushed Maury off the shelf. Luckily, Maury landed on his back. The other books stared down at him in horror. Well, actually some of them look quite pleased, so they are very happy that now Maury's out of their shelf. And just when Maury got up, the woman who dusted their pages walked in. So this is the woman who always dusts the pages of the books. She walked in. And what happened? Maury gathered all his courage. He was very brave and slipped through the door. So he escaped. He went through the door. Freedom! So now he's finally free. He's not stuck at the library. Maury ran and ended up on top of a huge staircase. He stepped closer when something furry jumped at him. What's that? There's a cat. Something furry with claws. These are claws, okay? These are claws. And Maury fell. He fell down all the stairs. Oh, it hurt. Oh dear. He landed in front of two slippers, and suddenly there were fingers and eyes. Oh, I think Maury saw someone. The fingers were slightly sticky, But oh, it was wonderful. So he finally saw someone who maybe could read him. The fingers wrote a name on Maury's first page. So this is the girl the fingers belong to. So she wrote her name on the first page, and the eyes read all the words he would kept for so long inside. So this little person started reading Maury, and Maury was so happy. The end.